Welcome to the Ghanaian Farmer TV show. My name is Anyonam. This program is focusing on putting the spotlight on farmers in Ghana, highlighting their success stories and also touching on the challenges associated with agriculture. We're coming to you from Cape Coast, and our focus today is on French beans. Our guest is an agronomist, or he's a student agronomist doing his master's here in the University of Cape Coast. My name is Anyonam. Get interactive on our social media platform on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, The Ghanaian Farmer. I'll be right back after this breather to get talking with Aaron. Stay tuned. Standing next to me is Aaron Akuka. He is a rotational farmer who has been cultivating close to 16 vegetables here in his farm. He's studying his master's in agronomy. Aaron, thanks for joining me.
Thank you too for having me.
When we say rotational farming, what does that term mean?
Ideally, rotational farming simply means that you are growing two or more crops on the same piece of land sequentially, which means that if I have this area to be my plot, if I plant beans, the next time I'll not plant beans, I'll plant something that don't belong to the same family, like maybe carrots. And then the next time I'll plant maybe onions. So that's rotational farming.
Okay, and I'm told you have about 16 different vegetables you're cultivating.
Exactly.
Can you mention some of these vegetables?
All right, so we have kale, Swiss chard, pumpkin, potatoes. We even do plantain, which is not a vegetable, but we do carrots, we do amaranthus. We do jute mallow,
spring onion,
bulb onion,
okay,
leek, winged beans, red and green lettuce, cabbage, hot pepper,
and French beans. I've even seen chili.
Yes, chili.
Interesting.
Cucumber. So we do the English cucumber, not the normal cucumber.
All right, but our focus today will be on the French beans.
Okay.
Tell me about what caught your interest to cultivate French beans.
Ideally, I think in Ghana, most farmers are not doing French beans.
Okay.
And then from where I found myself on university campus here, I decided to create a niche. Because here, I think I'm the only one doing French beans here.
Okay.
And then there is a demand for the French beans. So I noticed that, and it's also one of the nutritious vegetables that you can get. So I did my survey and noticed that people are interested, but they don't get it from Cape Coast here. Sometimes they have to get it from Accra more or Takrady.
Okay.
So I was like, why don't I take this as an advantage and then go into production of French beans?
What do I have to consider before even going to buy my seeds and then start the process?
So in farming, you should always factor in your consumers or your customers.
Right.
So consumer preferences is always the key.
Number one.
So if your consumers want either the long one or they want the short ones, the red ones or the green ones, you factor in that one and then you go and select that variety. Because if you just get up and go to the shop that I'm buying French beans, you may end up planting what your people don't like.
Okay. Where do you get the seeds from?
Actually, I have two agro-input companies that I deal with. AgriSeed Ghana, which is based in Accra. And then I also deal with AgroVota, which is a Spanish company, but they also have a branch in East Legon.
Okay.
So sometimes I get my seeds from those two companies.
What kind of soil texture is good for French beans?
I won't give it a specific soil.
Okay.
But actually, like we always say, sandy loam, sandy loam.
Okay.
That has been the Ghanaian gospel. But beans does well virtually in every soil.
Okay. Is French beans just like carrots or lettuce you net before you transplant, or you can just go straight and plant?
French beans are usually planted as stake.
Okay.
So we do in situ or direct planting. So if I want to plant French beans, there is no need going to nurse it. So you just plant it directly. So you create your holes and then you drop the seeds into it. But remember, the depth of the seeds also comes into play when you are sowing. So you don't go beyond 5 centimeters when you are planting your French beans to aid in the anchorage of the root of the French beans, so that there will not be disturbances.
Right. Do you do organic or inorganic?
I always say I do partial organic.
Okay. What does that mean?
Okay, so partial organic in the sense that in my farm, I do use compost, which is poultry manure. So I fetch the manure from the farmers or the poultry farms. I compose them and I incorporate it into the soil. But I also add fertilizer at a stage. Okay. Sometimes at a point, my carrot, for instance, 2 months to harvesting or a month to harvesting, I introduce pea.
All right.
Just to enhance the taste of the carrot. And then my pest management is solely neem oil. Okay. That's what makes it partial organic.
Right. So now, how much is the container of seed sold, French seed sold?
French bean seeds, 1 kg is 245 cedis.
Whoa. 1 kg is 240 cedis.
245.
45 cedis.
Yes, please.
Okay. So when you is this a whole 1 kg?
No, not a kg. This one should be around maximum 500 grams.
Okay. Now, when you bring your seeds, all right, and you prepare your bed, do you add any form of manure before you start?
Yes, I incorporate manure even 2 weeks before I do the sowing.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you sow, what do you do next?
All right. So after sowing, germination takes usually 4 to 5 days. You start seeing the seeds emerge. So after the 7th day, you usually notice that in crops, pea is important when it comes to the initial stage of germination. So I apply phosphorus a week after germination. In maize, they will tell you to apply NPK or whatever 14 days after germination. But it usually becomes deficient a week after the germination. So we supply that nutrient on that very 7th day so that it will boost the growth. And then after that, usually because of the spacing I use, I don't manage or I don't control weeds in my French beans. So after 14 days, I come and spray my neem oil to prevent them from aphids attack, and then there are other insects too that chew the leaves. So I spray the neem oil on it to avoid it. And then we have scleration mold here, which is a fungal attack. The neem oil has some antifungal properties, so that one also impedes it. So after the 14 days, we spray that, and then 21 days, I repeat. Every 2 weeks, I repeat the neem oil.
How long does French beans take to mature?
Maximum 2 months.
2 months, that's 8 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. So when it matures, how many times do you harvest?
At least every 4 days, I harvest.
Every 4 days?
Yeah.
For how long?
For maximum, depending on the farmer, the agronomic practice that is being adopted.
But you?
Okay, for me, I harvest close to about 2.5 to 3 months.
Hey! After 8 weeks, when it matures,
yes,
you keep harvesting every 4 days for the next 3 months.
Exactly.
That's 12 weeks.
Yes.
Before it is.
Before I clear them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. So in that course, whilst you're harvesting for the next 12 weeks, do you still apply any form of?
No, I don't apply anything.
Okay.
When I begin harvesting, I stop application of insecticides, and then I do add manure, the base application of the manure, but for pesticide, fungicides, no, because personally, when I'm harvesting, I chew them raw. Okay. So I don't want to make any mistake. Okay. To endanger a customer's health. That's why.
All right. So you meet Aaron, who is into rotational farming, and he has about close to 16 different vegetables he's cultivating here on his farm. And he's studying masters in agronomy. I'm going for a quick break. I'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Ghanaian Farmer on Joy Prime Television. My name is Anyunam, and my guest is Aaron, and we are discussing all that you need to know about French beans. It is one of the beans families. Yes. Aaron, you cultivate this for the next 12 weeks, and that ends it. Do you cultivate it green or dried?
I buy the seeds from input dealers. These are hybrid seeds.
Okay.
So hybrid seeds, I don't extract any extra seeds right after harvesting. Because sometimes I call it staggering or staging. So you see there is one here, I have another one down there. This one is flowering, the other one has not flowered yet.
Okay.
So that I'll have consistent supply. So immediately I notice that there will be shortage of seeds, I send in for seeds. I don't use, it is not advisable to use seeds from the plants that you have cultivated because they are hybrid seeds, and hybrid you are not going to get the same yield as the first production.
I see. What kind of weather temperature is good for growing?
For beans doesn't like too much heat.
Okay.
So usually beans is cultivated in the month of the farmers for Ghana here. After September, after they've picked their maize and etc., then they plant the maize as a minor crop. But for beans, usually I would say that you can plant it at any time, provided you have water.
Right.
Yes.
On your farm?
Yes.
You can plant it at any time. Okay. Now, my next question is, what is the distance for planting your French beans? Because I can see this is really crowded. Why is it like that? Tell me.
All right. For me, my beans, I use 50 by 50 centimeters.
Okay.
And sometimes I even use 40 by 40.
Right.
And when I do 50 by 50, I do 2 plants per stand. Sometimes I do 3. Then when they germinate, when I don't trust the germination percentage, because sometimes I'll buy the seeds and keep it for long. So the viability goes down. So when I do 3, I turn it to 2.
Okay.
The reason why I use that plant spacing is one of the headaches of farmers is weed management.
Okay.
Or weed control.
Right.
Which a farmer will have to bring in people to manage the weeds on the farm. At the end of the day, it adds up to cost of production. But when I use the close spacing or the narrow spacing, we notice that for this particular, a farmer will not have to control any weed.
Okay.
Because ever since we planted this, we have not managed any weeds from here. And then it's going to be this until we finish harvesting. Okay. We'll not pick any weeds from here. But when you are using the recommended planting spacing of sometimes 40 by 80 or 80 by 80, you end up getting a lot of weeds, which you have to control about 2-3. And then when the labor comes per day and you are spending, let's say, 50 cedis per day and they come twice, remember, you are losing money.
Okay. In what form do you sell the French beans?
Yes.
When you have it, how do you package it? Is it in baskets? Is it in sacks? What form is it sold?
Yes, well, the French beans, we pick it this way.
Okay.
We arrange it so in bundles.
And you tie?
So in a kg, 500 grams.
Okay.
We bundle it in 500 grams.
Okay.
And
sold for how much?
It goes for just 5 cedis.
5 cedis?
Yes.
Okay. Now, considering how much, so after buying the 1 kilo for 245, that is the only investment, right? That's the only amount.
Fertilizer.
How much?
Now fertilizer, the price fluctuates. So now a bag is 50 kg is around 220 the least, for the least price you can get.
Okay. So it means that we are around 650 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Okay. Comparing how much you invest into French beans and then how much you get out of it. Do you make margins, profit margins?
Yes, there is profit margin. It's about 50% profit. If I'm not afraid, it's about 100% profit.
You get the same amount you used to buy.
Yes, if you do and do it all. That's why I said it depends on the farmer who is doing it.
Right.
Because in farming, the farmer is a factor. So if your farmer don't get your things right, the 4 R's, right planting, right application, right harvest, and then your right C's. So if you don't go all those 4 R's, you are going to make losses.
Oh, then you are making money. Because if you get 100% of what you invest, that is good business.
It is good business.
Nice. Now, my next question is that, how many times in a year can you cultivate French beans?
24/7. The whole year,
Okay.
January to December.
Right.
I told you, provided you have water. And then you have your other input available.
Who are your direct buyers, clients?
I have restaurants. Sometimes I do contractor farming.
Okay.
So they tell me, we want French beans. Can you give us maybe 20 kilos every week? So do this, and then the lecturers on campus, and then the university workers, and sometimes the people around.
But if you have that demand, why haven't you done on a large scale?
The issue is land is a problem here. We are on the university land, and there are a lot of research activities going on.
Okay.
You won't get
so you are limited
the
to
land
space.
exactly.
Okay.
So if you want a large space to do it, you'll be hindered. Because there are a lot of research activities going on, which they have to give the land out for that research activity, so they can't give you huge land.
Are there any challenges associated with French beans cultivation?
Yes, every farming activity has challenges.
What are these?
Sometimes even the time you need the seeds, you go to the input dealer and they tell you, we don't produce the seeds in Ghana.
Yes.
So you go to them and they tell you seeds are not yet in. And then there are diseases also in the soil, especially in Cape Coast or Central region. We have problem with fusarium and scleration both, which this one is not exceptional. It affects it too as well. So all that thing put in place, and then sometimes I can have this weather fluctuation, and when you expect rain, at the end of the day it will not come. All those are the petty challenges that comes into farming, and at the end of the day you'll be anticipating about 5 kilos harvest, you end up getting 1 kilo.
Huh?
Yes.
5?
Yes.
5 kilo, you get 1 kilo.
Those are the pros and cons of farming.
Okay, I see. My next thought would be French beans. How highly is it in demand in Ghana?
Actually, I haven't done market survey.
Okay.
So I can't speak to figures. But for here, I know we have the demand is higher here, but I don't know for other regions.
What is the difference in cultivation and everything that goes into this as against the regular beans that we consume?
For this particular one, the regular beans, you have to wait for it to dry. But for this particular one, immediately the pores attain to this stage, because when the pores over matures, they become lignified.
Okay.
Lignified means that it becomes hard.
Okay.
And when you chop it into your salad or when you are eating it raw, you taste that it is fibrous, which doesn't taste nice. But for this one, when you pick it at this stage, you can chop it raw. You can also use it for your salad, your almighty Ghana jollof. You can integrate it into it, and it's one of the nutritious vegetables you can get.
I see. What has cultivating over 16 different or varieties of vegetables taught you?
Not even the cultivation alone. I always say that I'm a professional farmer, and I'm passionate about agriculture. You can't do farming without the passion, the dedication, and the love. If you love what you do, you try to commit the whole being into the activities you are doing.
Okay.
And the 16 vegetables that I do, usually, most of them are not indigenous vegetables, they are exotic vegetables.
Okay.
And I do vegetables that a lot of people are not doing.
Okay.
So, and this has given me an idea that Ghana have the tendency to do anything vegetable we want to do. If we want to put our focus on the agricultural sector, and we are able of feeding our people and then exporting to other countries. Because even there are vegetables here that's the demand, especially some few ones here that's the demand. I can tell you that a week, somebody contracted me to do 100 kilos of a variety of carrot I used to do for him every week, but I can't supply.
I see.
So there's money in the soil.
I see. There is money in the soil. Aaron, that's what he's telling you. So if you haven't considered, then think about it again and start today. Coming up is 60 seconds on our break. I'll be right back to conclude my interview with Aaron. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying and gone by our 60 seconds on our break. This program is proudly brought to you by Lizzie and Lee Tomato Mix. If you're cooking, you are the woman and you are the man who goes for shopping. Remember, the tomato paste you are encouraged to buy is Lizzie, and we are equally running a promo. You win some cash prize and product from us, and of course, there's a travel attached to it. You want to make this opportunity. Aaron.
Hello.
You mentioned that you do more of exotic farming than organic. Why?
Not
than local.
Local.
Yes. Why?
I noticed. I know there have been a perception that most of the vegetables that comes or imported are temperate vegetables.
Okay.
So because of that, when we plant them here, they will not do well. So I decided to take it upon myself and do some of those vegetables. And upon try, I noticed that they are fallacies. Because after doing it, I realized that the yield was so nice, the growth was perfect. And I said, okay, let me use that as an opportunity to do those foreign vegetables that are in demand and not grown locally. So that's what motivated me to do. And so when I want the seeds, sometimes I don't get the seeds locally. So I go online, sometimes I import from Amazon, I buy from other online markets.
Charlie? Now I understand why you say you're a professional farmer. Because even if you're buying your seed from Amazon, what are we talking? What are we talking? How long have you been doing this, Aaron?
I've done this for... Initially, it was a student project. I was a president for IAS. So I wanted to instill the love for agriculture in the students. So when we began the farm, students were coming, got to a time, we vacated, they all left. I decided to stay back and do something. And I realized that at least I'm making something from that, because at the end of the day, I bought my fridge and everything from that stay I stayed. So I was like, okay, so there is something in there.
Right.
So 2 years ago, we came here and then began this.
What do you think we can do to improve agriculture and also increase the interest of youth in agriculture?
I think we are making a mistake in Ghana. We have not set our priorities right.
Okay.
I don't know why you should take agriculture out of our curriculum in a basic level. Because if we are able to put or inculcate the agriculture in their children from the early stage, growing up, they will know that this is part. And in the secondary schools or in the basic schools, when you commit any mistake or you do any offense, the thing they give you is weighted. So it means that they are communicating to the child
that agriculture is a punishment.
Agriculture is a punishment.
Okay.
Which is not agreeing well with us.
Right.
So I think we should rethink about our agriculture, starting from the basic level. We should reintroduce it, because I am following a trend in Ghana. Most of the people doing agric are the people who did those from 96 downwards. Those are the people doing agriculture mostly in Ghana, because they had it in their curriculum.
Right. Aaron, you seem to have a lot of knowledge and passion for the work you do, and of course you're dedicated. After this interview, if someone comes up to me and I want to invest into Aaron to do this on a large scale, are you available? We are available.
We are even looking for 5,000 acres, because I had an agreement even with a company that was saying that if we had the capacity, they would have picked all our vegetables at a go.
Really?
So if a company or an individual is ready for investment, if you come, let's sit down. If the conditions, terms and agreement are favorable, we carry on. It's a business.
Okay.
And I'm ready to share my idea at any time, the little I've learned, to contribute to Mother Ghana.
Among the 16 vegetables you have here, which one is your most favorite?
I love everything.
You don't discriminate, eh?
Yeah, I love everything.
You don't discriminate.
I love everything.
Okay, your last words to people who are watching you, both in Ghana, abroad, students on campus who haven't thought about going into agriculture, what you have to tell them?
My last words is that in Ghana, there's something people are not following. We mine gold from the soil, we mine oil from the soil, we mine bauxite. All of the natural resources comes from the soil. We have forgotten that the crops also come from the soil. That means that all important things come from the soil. Let's try and invest in the soil by promoting agriculture as a hub of employment. I believe that we used to say that the backbone of Ghana is agriculture, but now the bone is broken, so it's left with the leg. So the leg is now agriculture. Even in the sector, agriculture sector, it doesn't contribute even 15% to GDP. So let's go back, rethink, and invest in agriculture. And I think that is the only avenue to curb the graduate unemployment in Ghana.
Excellent. Boza. I love this guy already. He's told me a lot of exciting things and the hard truths that our leaders and especially the agri stakeholders must pay attention to. And so thank you so much. I have enjoyed this interview. I'll come your way again next week with another powerful student farmer. It's Cape Coast, and this is the Student Farmer Edition. This man, he says I'm a professional farmer. My name is Anyona. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.